Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a dead silent start to the Missing Links post-game live stream podcast thing. I'm Andrew Dukowitz, who StreamYard is just buffering the audio right now, so hopefully it doesn't start randomly in the middle of this. Also, the layout is not coming on, so people that are enjoying this on YouTube have just now seen my face, and that's KingaBee with me today. Long time no talk. We're going to talk a lot of links, obviously, and also get some vibe checks. So, Kinga, how's it going? What's new with you over the last 3 weeks?
Yesterday was the last day of school, and now I'm officially for the summer just a Lynx fan. Like, this is my job. Rooting for the Lynx and following everything Lynx is my summer gig. So that is where I am.
Well, and you're like on a payroll now, like doing stuff with Victory Plus. You're at games. Like, are you allowed to talk about it yet?
Yes, Victory Plus reached out and asked if I wanted to do a couple of things for them, and it's been great. They're really awesome, and this has all been kind of like a fever dream, and yeah, it's just great. I love it.
I mean, this is just like proof of concept for, I didn't start getting into media until I was like 30. And then it's a 6-year journey for me to get to where I am. Like, if you just kind of like take the chance and start making content, whether it's podcast, writing, Substack, TikToks, being a Twitter personality, like if you just do it and like take advantage of opportunities, like you can kind of do anything. Like it's just kind of a reality I found in this is like, I'll be honest, like I think I'm good at like public speaking and understand basketball pretty well, but like there's probably a couple hundred dozen people that understand basketball significantly better than I do that just watch it from their couch. And like, if you want to get into media, just start doing things is kind of the moral of that. I didn't know that we'd take this start off of the get-go, but like Kenneth Ward, who is going to be doing some stuff covering the Comets next year, also kind of the same path of just like what is barriers to doing this stuff, right?
It is wild. And I was talking to someone in like my DMs, and they're like, well, I really like, I know hoops and like whatever, and I'm like, just push that button. And he's like, I'm turning like 38, and I'm like, I just turned 40. I started pushing that button last year at 39 and a half. I'm 40 years old, and it just shows that like it's not about age. It's like if you have a passion for something, just go for it. And I didn't do this for this to happen. This just happened, and I'm forever grateful. And I told you before that like I love the opportunity of being here, and until you try something and you just do something that you love, you never know what's going to happen.
I mean, honestly, when I started doing this, I was hosting a football podcast for a now defunct website, getting like 15 listens. My wife wasn't even listening. Like, that's just the honest truth of it. Like 15 listens who were probably all of my guest family members. And like, I thought like the first day I got paid like $10 to write an article for Zone Coverage, I was like over the moon. Right. And then you just keep with it. And eventually you're sitting here with like credentials talking to Cheryl Reeve after a wonderful 88-68 win over the Seattle Storm. That might have been my best segue. Kenneth Ward adds just try stuff. You never know. Exactly. Amanda also adds football isn't as interesting. Andrew, it's not your fault. I'm going to be honest. I don't know football nearly as well, but Sloan Martin's husband, Matthew Collar, runs Purple Insider, and I literally just like after therapy one day, just like sent him a DM of like, I've always wanted to do this. Like, how do you get started? We had talked about greyhounds before, so he responded positively and like told me where to go apply on a website. And 6 years later, here I am talking to you guys about WNBA and NBA and college basketball and following your dreams, which is insane. Ben says hi, by the way, to Kinga.
Hi, Ben.
And Jude adds, seeing Kinga is great. Andrew, not so much. I'm on call today, so like the bags under my eyes are for real right now. Speaking of getting paid double to do things. But we did have a Lynx game, like I said, 88-68 win over Seattle. It was the return of Natisha Hiedeman. It was the retirement of the courtside dog Nagini, which T had the pregame warm-up of giving the Nagini some head scritchels before every game. So like very fitting that Nagini's retirement from service dog hood and into sitting on the couch and being good boy, best boy also coincided with Natisha being back here, because like that's just storybook stuff. But I guess just to start off, I mean, weird game, right?
It was a weird game. That first quarter, I was like, wait, this scene. And they did this on Thursday. Was it on Thursday that we were there last time? I don't know. Days don't mean anything. And it seemed it kind of felt like that. People were just not very dialed in and not making shots. Nobody was making a shot. And then they're like, oh, wait, we are actually a professional basketball team. How about if we just play professional basketball and let's see what happens? And then we won.
Well, and it's
almost 20.
It's honestly like, I don't know. We've people who listen to the show that watch the Wolves as well. Like this was something the Wolves did 30 times last year, where it's just there's no energy. It looked like they weren't playing as hard on defense. It looked like it was a noon game. Like they just rolled out of bed and tried to play like a professional basketball game. And like after the game, I asked Cheryl about it, and she's like, if a coach could tell you when this is going to happen and why it would happen, we would do everything in our power to make it never happen. I think the difference is like Maya Caldwell came in and was like really energizing off the bench. Tony came in gave him like 4 or 5 really good bench minutes. Ola was really good. Yeah,
because I was iffy about her when the season started, and I was telling the people who are season ticket holders in front of us, and I'm like, Tony has arrived. Tony has arrived, and I've been like for the last couple of games, I was like, Tony can hoop.
This is like the benefit of being around the team a lot and kind of being like an insider is like just hearing what Cheryl kept saying about Tony, of just like she plays really hard, she's a professional, she's a glue player. And then I'd get the chance to talk to Tony and she'd be like, yeah, I just really pride myself on running to the corners really hard every possession and like making the right read when I'm not the person to score. And it's just like, oh, you're just like Bridget Carlton. Like that's the same stuff Bridget said. And I think the last 2 games we've just or the last 3 games really, we've just kind of seen like, yep, there's a role for her. It makes sense why she's here. She's just like a really solid, doesn't make mistakes player, right?
Yeah, she's looked awesome. I think like her kind of development, like from the beginning of the season to where she is now, has been just like 2 different players, because those first games were just really rough.
She had like 2 defensive 3 seconds in I think one of the Chicago games, and it was like, oof, maybe I was wrong on this one. Like I'm wrong on so much. But like Maya, awesome tonight. Ola, awesome tonight. Whatever those bench players.
Also, I think Ola also has been doing much better than at the beginning of the season, and I don't know if it was just like a change from playing Eurobasket to coming back to the W, but she has been like amazing. And specifically on defense, she's the muscle out there, and the girl has been in the weight room over the summer, or not over the summer, but in the off season, and she's just so strong and like so aggressive on defense. I love seeing it, and it turns out that you can play in a mask.
Yeah. Contrary to popular belief.
Contrary to popular belief, yes.
She's just, I don't know. It's funny talking to her because she's so like quiet and kind of like reserved, and like part of that is she's 21 years old living in a different country and English isn't her second or isn't her first language, so that I imagine is a little tough when people are like asking you things on camera.
Yeah.
But like how she plays, I mean, she's just a bully. Like she just
Yes.
moves people. And then on offense, as like Kenneth brings up, like her drives to the basket look like they hurt. They look like they physically hurt to defend, which
Yeah.
I can't really think of anyone the Lynx have had that has brought that the last 2 years.
No, I haven't. No, she has like that she looks strong and she plays strong and she plays forcefully, and I feel like she's one of those players that not a lot of she could go through anybody.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I think the first Mercury game, they just threw her out on AT and we're like, good luck. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah.
And now she's playing center. Like they had her out there with Nia playing center. And it's like, all right. Apparently they just have found how to use her, which, I mean, you know, some of that is probably confidence. Benz brings up, you know, finding a groove. Amanda, maybe everyone in Russia does just play in a mask. I'm going to be honest. I'm not watching a lot of the Russian Pro Basketball Association. But like, again, the bench has just been great. I suppose we should actually talk about like the starters though. I mean, Natasha Howard, another 27 points, again,
Incredible.
5 rebounds.
Incredible.
Just 2 turnovers, like for how many times she's getting the basketball. Like I did not see this coming at all. And I think the last time we talked, we were kind of like tempering expectations of like, it might be a long start to the season. I mean, she's like an all WNBA player right now.
There are some players on the Lynx that I'm like, I have no words because of like what our expectation was and where we are now. It just proves that fans are fans for a reason, and we don't run basketball organizations for a reason because we don't know anything. And we were wrong about so many things. We were worried about so many things, and I think Natasha Howard is in that category. And I think we just focus so much on the holes that were left, not even the people who left. The fact that we had holes, that we just like our anxiety overtook kind of seeing potential in people. And then after a couple of shaky games, you know, like Tony and Ola and Natasha Howard, and it has just been, are we better than last season's team? Like, can we say that? Like, is this team better?
I would say yes.
Like,
I mean, honestly, I would say yes. This team, 11 games in, is better than the best team in basketball last year during the regular season.
Yeah.
Like
and they don't go like, and we, you know, like the bench was struggling earlier this season, but like, and this is what like I'm going to go back to about last season, is that there were times in the regular season that the Lynx would just go on these dry spells where like nobody was hitting shots. And I don't think that even though today people struggled with their shots, but there was not like people like going on stretches of 3 to 4 minutes when there was no buckets.
Yeah.
It's not really happening as much. Even with like, we were saying how like, oh, it's like the bench wasn't really benching earlier in the season. They are, and Nafisa Collier hasn't stepped on the court yet.
I know.
Orca has not.
It's ludicrous.
I have no words. Because I can't explain this. And, you know, in our preseason podcast, you were like, well, we're going to be a good team.
Yeah. I thought I was way overly optimistic than anyone else in the local media. And I was like, can you imagine if they're like,
So
Can you
sure.
imagine if they're like 6-5 and Phee comes back? That's where I was sitting, and I
Yes.
was like overly optimistic. And this team is, I mean, they're 9-2. They're again, after today, the advanced stats will upload all into WNBA.com and I'll be able to look again. But I would assume they held the Seattle to 35% shooting. They're still going to have the best defensive field goal percentage. They're still going to be the best defense in basketball. Another 88 points that might pop them into like the 2 spot for offensive rating. They're first in net, they're first in plus minus. They're like just everything that I care about, honestly, other than assist percentage, they're in like the top 5, if not the top team. And you mentioned like last year, there was just stretches where it felt like this team kind of messed around. There's a meme I tweeted out almost every game. I can't remember who
Yes.
originally did it, but like the Lynx F around all game and then third quarter, boom, 10-0
Yeah.
run and they win. And like that hasn't happened at all. They've been dominant. Like
They have.
again, I went back and looked, and they had 9 games that they won by 20 plus points last year. They're already at 4, and they have 33 games to go. Like,
And the Fisa Collier has not stepped on the court.
and that again, like this is the best team in basketball. Like, there's a reason that like WNBA.com, like national writers, The Ringer, like USA Today are all putting the Lynx at like number 1 in power rankings. It's because there's not really an argument to say that they're not. Like they're dominant wins against like pretty good teams. Like the Mercury are supposed to be good. The Chicago was supposed to be good. Dallas is good. Like they're
We'll see what Tuesday against Dallas looks
yeah.
like. And I think like that's going to be an interesting test because Dallas is good now. Unlike the last time that we saw them, they figured some stuff out. But like, I don't know, like with our expectation, even though the Mercury are struggling, I was not expecting that dominance by the Lynx.
No.
Because I mean, Alyssa Thomas is still Alyssa Thomas.
Yep.
And
Kalia Copper is still Kalia Copper. Like, they still have very good players. I like Noah Dalzell is coming on the pod on Tuesday to talk Lynx. Sirat Sohi was just on yesterday talking. I mean, Sloan came on early. Like even like the national people, we're all just kind of sitting here like scratching our heads. Like, how are we so wrong? And today's just another example of it. Of like, I thought Natasha Howard was being brought in to be like a bench player behind Dorka and Phee, and
same.
She if the season ended today, she would finish in the top 5 for MVP, which is insane. Like Nia Coffey, I was like, man, if she can go back to her spark days, that's a huge win. And Nia Coffey is having like an incredible, she already set the record for blocked 3-pointers. We're 11 games into the season. Like Amanda kind of brings it up of like Olivia Miles is the explanation. She elevates everyone else's opportunity for greatness. Like honestly, like pairing Olivia with Cheryl is kind of just like a cheat code.
It has to be. It has to be. Because like again, the Lynx didn't make like free agency moves, right?
No.
We picked up these players that were like, well, I guess Natasha Howard's on this team. I'm sure Nia Coffey will hold down the fort until like Phee gets back. And we're like, what is happening? And I mean, it probably has to come back to Olivia. And
I mean, it is.
Man, were many people wrong about who the Lynx should have drafted.
My apology to her. My Olivia Miles is not going to get drafted to the Lynx apology tour is going to last 20 years. Like I'm going to be saying this for the rest of, I'm going to be saying this into my 50s because that's how long Olivia is going to be great at basketball. Like she is. And I think the other thing is just like Court and K-Mac have just turned the keys over to her of like, nope, you are the driver. You are the quarterback. Like this is yours. and we are going to do what we do best around you. But like, this is your Ferrari. And then Cheryl, I mean, today, like Cheryl's just like, we're, kind of designing plays that we think Liv is going to see and be successful, but they're like, we're not coaching or passing. Like, this is all just Liv.
Yeah.
And again, 19 points. She was plus second best in the game, plus 19, has 6 assists, just 1 turnover. Just like 9 of 14 shooting.
Incredible.
I asked her after the game of just like the Spain pick and rolls that they run, which, like, for people that don't know X's and O's, that's essentially like, K-Mac comes over and like sets a little slip screen, and then Tosh screens K-Mac and then like dives at the basket. And Liv's just like, yeah, I've never played with someone as good as Tosh at just like being able to find that space and dive. And Tosh is just like, yeah, I've never played with somebody as good as Liv of just like figuring this out every single day. And it's just, yeah, it's honestly just incredible at this point. And I think the scary part is when Phee comes back, this offense is going to go up multiple levels. Like, everything is going to get better across the board, and they're already like the 3rd best offense in the league.
It has to be a combination of like Cheryl and Olivia. I don't know. Like, it's Olivia.
I'm speechless. A lot of these like post games, I feel like it's a broken record of me just being like, because I really don't know what to say at this point other than like, this is the best team in basketball, and Olivia Miles by the end of the year might be all WNBA first team guard, which that just might be facts.
As I was driving home, I'm like, okay, so I haven't watched basketball for that long of a time, but I've been watching since I started watching it. I have been like no player, whether it's NBA or WNBA, made me feel the way Olivia Miles makes me feel when I watch basketball. And I've watched Nikola Jokic, I've seen Wemby, I've seen Kyrie, I've seen Luka, I've seen LeBron, I've old LeBron, but still, no one has made me feel the way Olivia Miles makes me feel watching basketball. And everybody needs to see her live. It's a whole different experience than watching her on TV. But like, it will, if you need a pick me up, just watch that 20-some-year-old play basketball, and you're just going to have a new outlook in life, because it's just unbelievable. Like, I can't explain it.
Yeah, I do want to keep going on this, but I am going to throw us over to a quick ad read. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard, and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. Have one more ad that is loading up from Nate Pence. And we're back with another ad read. This time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. I mean, the only comp that I've kind of settled in on with Liv is Jason Kidd. And that's like me. That was my favorite player growing up. That's the guy. I watched a ton. The first team I ever like really fell in love with was that like New Jersey team that went to the finals twice. Thanks LA and San Antonio for crushing my heart early. Like just how she turns corners, like how quick she can be, the defensive like instincts where, you know, Kid is probably a better defender coming out of college, but like they both had this innate ability to like deflect passes. The passing stuff where it's just like putting spin on a ball to like thread needles, like that's the comp that I've come up with. And I feel pretty confident in it. And then I'll go look at like numbers from like, well, what was Jason Kidd putting up his 23-year-old season? And then you put it out per 100 possessions. And like Liv is crushing him. Like Liv is like statistically significantly better against her peers at her age than Kidd was. And that was like his second year in the league when he was 23. So it's just, I mean, Kenneth brings up like Kidd with a better jumper. Like, honestly, it's Kidd with a better jumper that even with his insane way of reading the floor might not be at Liv's way, which I mean, I think that the coolest thing about watching Liv is it's those moments when she does something that like takes you out of like the cynical world we live in. And it's like, you know, you just have these like moments where it's like, oh, I don't have to think about anything else other than like, how the F did this kid just do what she did?
Yeah.
It's not like a dunk. It's just these like insane passes or these insane finishes, right?
Yeah. And she's no longer bothered by size, because I think like that first Chicago game, she was legitimately shocked when Camila Cardoso blocked her shot. And like she was blocked a couple of times today too, but like I don't think she's not deterred by size anymore. And I think she figured some out, because she still like scores on bigger defenders. And it's just like where, and then I didn't know that she had a 3-point shot. On Thursday, she is the leading scorer in 3-point shots for rookies, surpassing Caitlin Clark.
Like, why not?
What are you and she just got her flowers for Rookie of the Month, and then we're like, okay, yeah, yay. And then she breaks the record for most threes in a game by a rookie, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh, I've done nothing with my life.
I mean, honestly, like I was busy flunking out of business school when I was her age, so don't take my path. But like it is, again, it's just this as Cheryl said, like this, you know, incredible generational talent she has. And I mean, again, Ben brings up like the and one pass to Tosh today might be her best assist yet. And we're 11 games into the season. I don't think it's going to hold as her best assist because, I mean, someone brought up earlier in the chat, as I'm trying to collect my thoughts here, of just, you know, Kayla's kind of struggled this season. 3-point shooting hasn't been there. She looks tired. She's having to do a lot more on defense than I think she even did last year. Just, I mean, she is on the best wing or guard defender every game for most of the game. And then also getting just double teamed. I mean, we mentioned kind of the Spain pick and roll. Like if you go back and watch tape on those, like she's running around full speed in Natasha Howard's screen and like the guard is grabbing at her shoulders to stop her. And like Phee comes back and that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and like she had a rough start to the season last year, and then she was an all-star, and I think she has to do a lot. That's why they brought Dejanay over last year. They're like, someone needs to play some defense so that K-Mac doesn't have to do everything and shoot. And like her 2-point shot, like she can't, like she hits. I feel like, and I haven't looked into like stats too much, but like I feel like she has a better chance at making a 3 than making a 2, because like none of her layups, none of her jump shots, nothing from 2 is going in. And I was just okay. I think she made like a very open layup today that there were no defenders around, and I'm like, okay, she made one. And I love her. Like I am not like she's just having to do a lot.
Yeah. And Cheryl kind of mentioned it a few games ago of like K-Mac knows what her role is on this team when Phee isn't out there and when Phee is out there. And like when Phee is out there, she knows like things are going to get easier, which I mean, honestly, I think K-Mac is going to be, I mean, we just talk about Olivia Miles and like how her game's going to open up. You look at like Tosh Howard, like we think she's getting open layups now. Imagine having like a 40% 3-point shooter in one corner, K-Mac at the top, Court on the other side, and then Nia Coffey who's shooting 40% on the other corner. Like Tasha's layup lines are going to get even more open.
Yes.
Court's going to get more open shots, but like K-Mac, especially when Phee comes back, I fully expect there's going to be some like revenge of K-Mac games where she's just like 7 of 9 from 3-point range, just having a ball. And that again, like 9-2 record, best team in the league, and everything is going to get, I believe,
So much
significantly
easier.
better, which is scary for every other team in the league. This has to be terrifying.
And yeah, and it's like hard to like play this well because like you have to, like I think that when you have like a top 2 player in the league on your team, it's easier to, again, playing is easy. And having to work this hard for everything like K-Mac is doing is just, her life is gonna get so much easier. Someone in the comment was said like she deserves to be tired. Yes, absolutely.
K-Mac, they might have to just give a couple days off when Phee gets back just so she can like breathe a little bit. Like
it's like I need to rest my legs.
Honestly, she only played 22 minutes tonight, and I felt like that was an awesome decision by Cheryl to just be like, "Hey, just we got this. We figured it out. Go get some wind on the bench, and we'll figure it." I mean, the other thing is, I don't think K-Mac like physically knows how to pace herself in games. Like she's pretty much just constant like pedal to the metal when she's playing. That, you know. I think like a player like Courtney Williams, if you're like, hey, take it easy this quarter, Court's going to be like, yeah, like, all right.
How do you spell that?
Yeah, like K-Mac, I feel like is it like she would just look at you like you're speaking a different language.
Yeah.
I think the last
Courtney,
yeah,
like it has been again fascinating watching her, and just with like, it's stupid to say like, oh, Courtney is playing with swagger, because Courtney, I think, like is swagger, but since
swagger she's, in the dictionary, Courtney Williams is one of the definitions. Like
absolutely,
yeah.
But like her not being the primary playmaker has just turned like she is a different player.
Absolutely,
and I'm like, interesting. It just has been fascinating to see her, because she is doing so great. And I think like, people still say about like, her being up and down, but I think like not being the primary ball handler and the primary like creator has just opened up her shooting to the next level, and she's just raining shots.
I mean, couple things. Like she has 7 assists tonight as like the shooting guard. So I do think, I don't know if she'll ever admit it, but like this 3-year foray into being a point guard, I think has helped her considerably as like an off guard of just like understanding reads and like knowing where to go with the basketball. She's also like, I think coming into this game, I believe she was second in the league among guards rebounding the basketball, or maybe she was first. She was first or second in the league among guards rebounding. She defends really well, and like she just looks like she's having fun, which
yes,
I'm not going to say like I'm never going to say Courtney Williams doesn't have fun playing basketball, because I think last year was very fun for her. There is just a different level of joy where she's just able to be like, yeah, I don't want to be full court pressed every possession. Here you go, Liv. And then she goes up the court, and then like the opposing Jude brings up literally what I was just about to say of like, then they basically give her the keys when the opposing team's bench guards are in, and Courtney just eviscerates them.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a chance, which again,
no. And
roster construction just A+, like how they've been able to do this.
Incredible. And I wanted to make a video about this, but then school has ended. It took some time, but like like Courtney as a person, as an athlete and a player specifically, I think it was very well like experience Thursday, where for like 3 quarters she had a rough night, and then she comes out in the fourth and she's like, let me show you how it's done, and she was just a machine. Like,
yeah.
And we know like so many players that like you have a rough game and it gets into your head and it's very hard for you to get out of it, and some players don't, and it just like torpedoes your entire game. And she came in that fourth quarter on Thursday against the Valkyries, who are a very good team, and you could have not stopped her if you would have put up a brick wall in front of her that fourth quarter. There was nothing stopping her. And she was dialed in on defense and passes and all the things that she struggled with for 3 quarters. And she just became the Terminator.
It, again, is just like, it's been so interesting watching how teams try to defend this team, because I do think K-Mac is getting a lot of attention. Like, teams do not want to leave K-Mac alone, which fair. Like, she's a top 10 all time in 3-point makes. Like, I wouldn't want to leave that player alone either.
She is 9 3-pointers away from becoming number 5 on the all time 3-pointers list.
We can almost say top 5 all time.
We can almost.
Like they're playing K-Mac like she is K-Mac, which, like, fair. And then Courtney is still getting a lot of, like, you know, when she's running pick and rolls, it's just a horrible position for teams to be in, because if you go under it, she's going to shoot the mid-range. And if you try and get over it, like, she's a good enough passer to get the ball to whatever post is setting it for. And now you have like the Liv Tosh connection, which is just unstoppable. Nia's a 40% 3-point shooter. Like, it's just, you know, we kind of saw it with the Valkyries. Like, they just started going under the Tosh and Liv pick and roll, and then Liv just crushes them from 3. And then they start bringing over a double to help out with Liv, and Court just starts going on a heater. And it's like, at some point you're just out of adjustments, and you just kind of have to hope that people miss. And again, the thing I'll just keep going back to is
it seems like they also put size on the Lynx, because we're not the biggest team out there. Valkyrie's gonna do, like, at some point it got to the point where you're like, I guess this is the best that we can do.
And again, the point I'll keep going back to is, like, they don't have Phee yet. Like, like, at some point,
like, this is a new for, like, until Phee gets back, you need to, on your live stream,
they don't have it.
You have to put like another banner. Like, he has not played. Like, and then we just, like, we don't even have to say, we just, like, point up top of the screen, like, remember that the second best player in the league last year has not played basketball yet this year.
Like, I've debated already this season of just going to, like, opposing teams' post-game conferences and just be like, what do you do? Like, help me understand, like, what the adjustments are. Cause, like, I don't know how you make every adjustment that you make against this team, there's like an equally terrible outcome that happens consistently. And then again, Phee is going to be coming back at some point, and she's like the back-to-back runner up for MVP that shoots 50, 40, 90. Like,
what are you gonna do?
Literally, what are you can't guard K-Mac the same way anymore. Like, you can't guard pick and rolls the same way. So it's just, again, kind of going back to where we started this pod, I did not expect this at all, of how incredible this team would be already. And it is just one of the joys now is just having other people on the podcast and just being like, this is insane, right? Like, this is not supposed to happen.
We were like, okay, like we could be like when the athletics power rankings came out and they were like, the Lynx are 8, and I'm like, I don't think that like 8, but like probably like 6. I feel like if the athletic would have said like before the season that the Lynx are 6, I was like, okay, sure, but not in a million years.
Yeah. Everything I know about basketball is that it should take time to develop this type of chemistry. And I guess that just doesn't exist.
Like, is Olivia Miles just like is the answer that Olivia Miles is just that good?
Which, if that's the answer, like, that's equally as scary, because now you have Phee and Liv as maybe 2 of the top 5 players in basketball on the same team, which again, I know the Ringer WNBA show kind of got some headlines again talking about Phee going to Golden State. I mean, if Phee is really sitting here saying like, I want to win a championship and I'm going to go to where my best odds are to do that. I mean, this is the best, most dominant team in the regular season so far. I don't know. This seems like a pretty good opportunity. The last thing I kind of wanted to touch on just before we get out of here, which I know we're hitting the 40-minute mark, but I just like Cheryl after the game was just talking about, you know, this group and kind of how the question was framed. I'll go back, is someone asked Tasha of just, why is this team playing so well together? And Tasha was just like, we love each other. We love to hoop, basically. And then I can't remember who asked Cheryl it, but they asked her the question of like, you know, Tosh says this team just loves each other and they love to hoop. And Cheryl acknowledged what Tosh says. And we got a very funny audio of Cheryl saying they enjoy hooping together, which, like, Cheryl saying hooping just doesn't seem to, like, that doesn't sound right in my brain, but it happened. And then she finished her statement saying there's something to be said for wanting to be somewhere. Tashi chose being here. Nia chose being here. Obviously, Mac and Courtney to return here, and Phee. There's something to be said for that. And like, that was just powerful to me. I wonder what your thoughts are on it, though.
I think it goes back to kind of like what I said before we started recording, is that there's a player who was on this team that no longer wanted to be on this team, and now they are the best paid bench player in the WNBA. And I think it's just a cautionary tale that the grass seems greener on the other side. And I think because of the boom of the league, money was an enticing factor, which fair. I am never going to say don't go get your money, because you should.
Get paid.
Get paid, absolutely. Any extra money that you could get for the work that you put in, absolutely go get it. And we know that money is not everything, and that success, that the power of a payout could come at the cost of success.
Absolutely.
And again, like, I think this happens when leagues and organizations have a huge influx of money, and rightfully so, people want to go get paid. And again, we've talked about this also.
Yeah.
Some of those players weren't those players before they were a Minnesota Lynx players. And
I could not agree more. And I do think I don't think anyone in the Lynx would ever say like, oh, I wish they would have stayed here and passed up on the money or had like that
No,
sort of bitterness
absolutely
to it.
no.
But I do think players on this team are acutely aware that everybody in that locker room wanted to be here. Like, I think it's pretty evident that, like, you know, Court at her exit interview was like, I like playing basketball here. The fans like me here. I want to be here. And then
Yeah.
sign. K-Mac was like, I couldn't see myself going through these feelings with another jersey. She signs. Natasha Howard was like, I promised I would come back to the Lynx. She signs. Nia Coffey, Hopkins grad, comes over here. All of the Euro players that came over here mentioned like understanding that you know, Cheryl's system is a lot more similar to Euro basketball than other teams. So like whether that's Tony, whether that's Aliska, whether that's Amis Hoff, who is no longer on the team, Dorka chose to come back this year. Like, I do think this team is acutely aware of like, we all want to be here and some people didn't. And there is something to that, like galvanization, right? Of like,
Yeah.
these are the people that we're riding with because they want to be here. And I do wonder, you know, it probably won't be talked about until after the season because things like this don't get talked about during the season. Even if I ask, just
Yeah.
full transparency to like Lynx fans, even if I'm like, so Court, like, you guys are kind of feeling a certain type of way that over 2/3 of the roster left you guys for more money. Like, Court would be like, happy they got paid. But then like after the season, she might say something different because there's not, you know, the pressure of like chemistry and as much
Yeah.
spotlight on it. Like, I do wonder what, you know, the kind of behind the scenes feelings are on this, because this looks like a team that's playing like they want to send a message to everybody.
Absolutely. And I think like maybe this is just like a Cheryl revenge season of like, okay, you all left, let me cook. And
Yep.
she's like, give me anyone. Give me anyone. We activated A-Rod, got some players from overseas, got an overseas scout. Give me these players. I'll put my chef's hat on and let's get it rolling. And I think like it has to be like that, and what you said about these players choosing to be here and Olivia Miles. And I think that may be the recipe. Cheryl's like, it's on, basically. Like, I'm coming for all of you. Like, it's not, I don't think that it's like specifically teams that like players left to. She's like, I'm taking all of you on. I'll do it myself.
I mean, honestly, that's the scariest thing about this team is like they make the finals in 2024. Yesterday, they're the best regular season team in basketball. Like they were, statistically speaking, when you're measuring a team against the season that they played in, that Lynx team is statistically the best regular season team of all time. I will fight that to the death, and the stats back it up. They blew it in the postseason because of injuries. Like, it is what it is. Like, sometimes things don't work out, injuries happen, deficiencies get exposed, whatever it is. This team this year is different. Like, they are blowing teams out of the water. They are jumping out on these leads. The swagger around them, like, you know, Godfrey kind of mentions in the chat of like Atlanta getting cheap shotted by Asia Wilson. Like, yeah, that was something that Land dealt with a lot, was she would just kind of get knocked down and get back up, but there wasn't like as much feistiness to it. Like Natasha Howard, I would not want to cheap shot. Like, I feel like Natasha Howard would rip my head off if I did that. It's just, again, like, it's just such a different vibe around this team, which covering it is a blast. I'm enjoying this quite a bit, actually. But also, like, from a fan standpoint, the amount of ego that fans are going to be able to have if this team just like runs the table and like takes the championship this year is going to be
in the same position
unreal.
as we were, and we are in the exact position as we were this time last year, because the Lynx were the best team in the league for majority of the season. I think there were maybe like a week when they were second in the league, and it's like nothing has changed.
Yep.
It's just, and
Literally.
everything has changed. And like, we had bench worries a couple of weeks ago. That was a couple of weeks ago. We were like, well, I guess we just have to survive the bench. And now they're great.
Now they're great. Now they're awesome. Like, now they have toughness, they have swagger, they have like competence, they're hitting shots. Like, now it's just night and day. I do want to say, someone brought up in the chat, I think it was Dustin, why didn't Lan want to be here? Like, I got no indication that Lan, even like after she signed and now into the season and talking to people, like, I get no indication that Lan did not want to be in Minnesota. I think Dallas offered her a 3-year max contract, and the Lynx probably offered her the same contract they offered Tosh, like 2 years, 1.4 million. And when you are going from a 2-year, $1.4 million contract to a 3-year, $3.6 million contract, like, you take the money. Like, I don't think there was anything personal. I don't think there was anything like, oh, I want to go out there and be like a star and I want to be in the MVP candidacy. I literally think it was just like, hey, this team is offering me a boatload of money to play basketball. And that type of money for someone who, you know, Lan was making like $100,000 a year. Like, you get a $3 million contract. You have to take it. It's the same thing with like T. Like, I would assume like they offered Natisha Hiedeman something similar to like what they ended up offering Nia Coffey, because like, just again, salary structures, they didn't have any extra money to like spend. And like, Nia Coffey is making like 370,000, 400,000, somewhere in that range. And T went to Seattle for 800,000 a year. Like, you take the money.
Yeah. Oh, and we lost Andrew. And I think with the whole,
I'm back. You got to take, you got to take the money if you're in that. Same with Shep. Like, you have to take it. It's
and I think
if
like,
you're leaving $1.5 million on the table to play basketball with your friends, like, objectively speaking, that's a terrible financial decision. So I don't think it's like, oh, these people, you know, spited the franchise or anything. I think it's literally just like, they looked at what their earning potential could be and they were like, yeah, sorry, we have to go. That being said, it doesn't change the fact that like, everybody on this team wants to be on this team.
And I think
which can be a very galvanizing thing.
And I think, unfortunately for Lan, she ran into, like we talked about, team construction. Because I think that's the big issue in Dallas. It's team construction. Because you know who would have made real big sense on the Dallas Wings? Olivia Miles.
Yeah.
Olivia Miles would have solved a lot of Dallas's issues with the Jess Shepard, Alana Smith acquisition. Olivia Miles would have done would have made a lot of sense. And they chose not to go to that direction, thankfully.
Yeah. I mean, again, AZ Fudd could turn out being like a Hall of Fame caliber player, but like, the stuff I'm seeing from Olivia Miles is something I haven't seen since I was like 9 years old, which is insane. It's insane.
It's nothing against AZ. It's nothing against
nothing against there. And Dallas is a good team now. It just
Dallas
so
is a
happens
good
that
team.
Minnesota,
and we got Olivia Miles, so
everyone's happy.
Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. We're all happy. And I think that's why we are just coming back to like, we're speechless, because it's just, and again, like, going back to like Liv going to this podcast, and when she said that like she chose not to enter the draft last season, and how that changed because, you know, Seattle moved up in the draft to draft her. And then she chose not to go into the draft. And we got her because she chose to stay in college one more year, and we fleece Chicago for that pick.
Yeah. Now that most of the trade tendrils have turned out, the fact that like Chicago is going to have 2 Atlanta first round picks for essentially the Olivia Miles pick is going to be, that's going to be tough. Like that's just going to be real tough. I'll close it on this because Ben brings up Andrew wanted AZ so bad, a little birdie has told him. That was to me, it was Dallas is picking our Fam or AZ, and whoever they don't pick, you just draft. Like I had heard things kind of on, you know, just from being like a reporter of like, they really liked our Fam. They did a lot of due diligence on AZ. I think I put too much into the past, like just trends of like Cheryl not ever really having a rookie point guard. And when she has, it has not gone well. So I think I put way too much stock into that than I should have. That being said, like I will gladly say Olivia Miles was the right pick for as long as that person plays basketball, and probably long after that, because awesome player. And for all the people that were like, they should have taken Lauren Betts, that's the real take. That's going to
that is the real thing.
Potentially really bad. Kinga, we're almost at an hour though. Where can people find you? And I do believe you're on with me after the Dallas game as well.
I am so excited. So people can find me on TikTok at KingaBee. That's where I try cross posting a little bit. On Instagram, my handle is the same, but it's mostly on TikTok.
Awesome. Well, thank you for doing this. For anyone that jumped in a little late, it does get posted up on Buzzer, YouTube, and X as soon as I end stream. Comes out as a podcast. That'll be tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., Sunday the 7th. We'll be back after the Dallas game, the same crew here. And if you need more Lynx listening, I alluded to it a little bit during the pod, but Sirat Sohi from The Ringer joined me yesterday. We talk Phee, we talk Olivia Miles. We talk a lot of kind of the same conversation we had today of just like, oh my gosh, like this is ridiculous. And then also Sloan Martin joined the pod on Tuesday, just again, kind of talking about how surprising this team has been. So if you do need more listening over the weekend, if it does start to rain, those are available. But until next time, everyone, thank you.
Thank you.